Heat Seekers, I am back with your week 4 running back rankings and tier format. If you like this content, please hit that like button. Please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any more of these throughout the rest of the season. Starting off in tier 1, we've got Christian McCaffrey right at the top, but we do have a little bit of hesitation. He didn't practice today, but I don't expect him to make all Wednesday practices. Hopefully we'll get better news. He is practicing on Thursday. Obviously, this guy has the ability to break the bank in both the receiving game and the running game. As long as he's healthy, he is a monster. And with a couple down weeks from Jonathan Taylor, this is the first week I have him at the top of the tier rankings. So that's him. Taylor down just a little bit, and then Saquon right below that. Tier 1 is solid. Here in tier 2, we haven't got the production from Austin Ekeler that we seen last year. The touchdown upside hasn't been there, but I'm giving it another week. I think that he's got a really great matchup. We just watched Khalil Herbert torch Houston in the run game, so hopefully Austin Ekeler can really get it going, get used in both the pass and run game, and get us a good week. Nick Chubb, obviously this dude, 26 missed tackles forced already in 3 games. That's more than any NFL team has, so he's obviously dominating the run game right now and gets Atlanta. And then Leonard Fournette still catching passes. I haven't seen the real big game yet that we want to see out of Fournette. Derrick Henry caught some passes last week, and if Derrick Henry can catch some passes, then he's going to definitely be higher up in my tier, so hopefully they continue to use him in that way. And then finish this off with Mixon, Harris, and Jones, who have been inconsistent so far, which is something we've seen throughout all running backs. Tier 3, James Robinson at the top. Anybody that's watched any of my stuff over the course of the last 2 seasons, I think James Robinson really one of the best running backs in the NFL, and he has come back from that injury and just been great so far this season. Could definitely have the argument for him to be higher and be up in tier 2 because this dude just produces when he's on the field and doesn't have Urban Meyer as his coach not giving him touches. Luckily, we've got past that. This does hurt ETN a little bit. For the ETN fans, James Robinson being as good as he is even after the injury has suppressed ETN's value from what people really wanted to see this season from him. Jamaal Williams, looks like DeAndre Swift's not going to play, so I didn't include him here in these rankings. That's the way it seems to be trending. So Jamaal Williams, this guy produces whenever he gets the touches, and he's been a top 36 running back as the B to the A here over the past 2 seasons. Jamaal Williams start against Seattle. Sounds like a good spot to start him. Patterson, this dude's just running all over the place, and we saw him start this way last year. Hopefully he can continue and do that throughout the season this year and not drop off like we've seen towards the end of last season. Alvin Kamara still yet to get it going. Hopefully this is the week. Williams, we're not seeing those targets we saw in week 1, so hopefully they get back to dumping some balls off to him. Dalvin Cook is in here right now. Obviously, if he can't go because of that shoulder, then we will be moving Madison into these rankings, so make sure you check out the article on rotoheat.com that goes with this video, and if that happens, I will move these rankings around to fit Madison in and take Cook out. Herbert and Montgomery I got here right back to back. If Montgomery can't go, then it's Herbert. If Montgomery does go, then he's the guy that fits in this spot until we see that split work out differently when they're both healthy. And then Dameon Pierce, who looked good against the Bears last week, comes in to finish out tier 3. Then we move down to tier 4, and James Conner, who has not been putting up the numbers that he put up last year. Hopefully we can start getting some of those touchdowns that we saw last year. Antonio Gibson, maybe the last week that he is in here as high as tier 4 at least, with Brian Robinson coming back, but still Antonio Gibson's production hasn't been great. That whole Washington offense last week did not do a whole lot, so not holding that against him. Miles Sanders' usage is still very inconsistent. I was really looking forward to him getting up into like tier 2. He's productive when he gets the touches, but it's just hasn't been there. But also last week they had such a big lead, and Hurts had 3 touchdowns by halftime, close to 300 yards. So they were just dominating through the air. And then a lot of the same from a lot of these other guys. A.J. Dillon had a great week 1, but has been down the last couple weeks. Kareem Hunt had a huge week 1, been down the last couple weeks. Edwards-Helaire has been producing, but he's not getting huge volume. He's been getting some more pass work than we've seen in the past and getting some touchdowns. Touchdown saved his week last week because he only had 7 carries. Devin Singletary just not consistent enough to move up. We see big week and then a couple down weeks. So hopefully you can kind of get that second half of last year's stretch going, and we'll see him move up as well. Down here in tier 5, Tony Pollard looks good, but what's the usage going to be like? And you can't rely on a big run every week to kind of get you there. So we need to see more usage for him, more consistent usage, and for that offense to continue to get better. It seems to have been better each week since the season started, but getting Dak back will help that out. Cam Akers, I want him to be higher than this, but just not sold yet. Fumbled the ball on what could have been his second touchdown last week, but he's definitely got that usage back from Darrell Henderson and looks to be the guy for the Rams. And then just to finish this out, a lot of inconsistencies with a lot of these guys. Don't know who's going to get the work from week to week. Is it going to be Rashad Penny? Is it going to be Kenneth Walker? Is it going to be Ramondre Stevenson? Is it going to be Dameon Harris? Is it going to be Michael Carter? Is it going to be Breece Hall? A lot of them ifs there. And then Edmonds at Cincinnati. Just hard to figure out this Dolphins run game. He did get into the end zone last week, got 15 points, just not feeling real comfortable. But that is the top 36 in tier format. I think there's actually 37 because I included Montgomery, even though we don't know what's going to happen with him yet. But obviously, if he's in, then Herbert moves down. He's probably still a flex start because he probably gets some work. Montgomery, maybe not all of it, but make sure to check out that article on rotoheat.com. If you want to watch the wide receiver video, click right here. If you want to watch the wide receiver video, click here. And if you want to subscribe, which we greatly appreciate, click here. And we will see you next week for the running back rankings.